Yep.
Let me tell you about the time that I watched somebody quit.
Yes.
So it was a Monday. I think it's probably the same. It's probably not the same because ANS doesn't actually objectively evaluate anybody. But back in the day at INDOC, when we used to have evaluations every Monday, you would have the instructors would not screw with you. So during that day, the instructors had a tick mark, right? So like during the day, like you would do something, you would clap at the wrong time, or you would slap the floor at the wrong time, or you would, somebody would do something stupid, and the instructors would be like, "That's a tick mark." And then at the end of the day, when the evaluation was over, because it was a whole day of evaluations, you would do all of your cal evaluation, pull-ups, push-ups, sit-ups, flutter kicks, run, all that stuff, and then you would have your water con evaluations along with your fin. It was every Monday, right? Well, they wouldn't screw with you, and they wouldn't drop you during the evaluation. They would want you fresh for the entire evaluation. So, but at the end of the day, you had to pay the man, and it was always the worst. Like the Mondays where you're just like tick mark after tick mark, like you can just feel it by lunch. You're like, oh my god, we're gonna be here till 9:00 at night doing 8-count bodybuilders. This is gonna be terrible. So retired Chief Ron Thompson, legend of the career field. He's a career field manager for a while. He ended up being a wing chief. He's RT. So he was running the pool deck, and we had 15 tick marks. Like it was ridiculous. It was just a bad day. Like it was one of those days on team. You're just like, man, we suck. And we did suck. So he's like, all right, cool. So that completes the pool session today. And by the way, like you started to game the system a little bit, right? You knew when the bus was coming. Like the bus was coming at 3:45 every single day at 15:45 for you military idiots. So at 15:45, you knew the bus was coming. Well, it was like 1:30, and we were like, oh no, this is bad. Like there's plenty of time in here. There's 2 hours in here of us getting just beat to death. So we were just like, oh, here it comes. So sure enough, he's like, all right, everybody, count off by twos. One's over here, two's over here, and we're in the deep end. And like 3 people quit. And RT, like right away, they were just like, nope, this is not for me. It was like week 3. The last Monday, we just got absolutely destroyed. I mean, just like grass. We were running out of the pool to go do like buddy carries in the grass outside and then coming back into the pool. It was awful, right? Just, cats and dogs living together, worst parts of the Bible.
I wonder why the pools we use never work.
I know, right? Yeah, it couldn't be the mud, the grass, and the doo-doo, baby. Anyway, so there we were, 1s and 2s, and like 3 or 4 people. I can't remember how many, but it was enough where it was like 3 or 4. And he literally looked at everybody and was like, you don't even know what we're gonna do. You're quitting? And you don't even know what we're going to do. Do you want to just stick around? And they were like, nope. So they immediately go out there. He's like, okay, well, ring the horn or blow the horn. Go out, fall in on your gear. Go back to the schoolhouse. Catch the bus over there. Ride of shame. So then he looks at us and he goes, we had a national level swimmer on our team. His name is Jeremy. He was like, hey, Jeremy, get in the middle. He's like, go in the middle and tread. So Jeremy's in the middle and tread. And he goes, this man is a shark. And you all are minnows. And we literally looked at each other. We're like, we're playing sharks and minnows right now.
Oh yeah.
And we played sharks and minnows and water polo for like an hour. And RT brought us all in. And he was like, you guys suck today. You need to figure this out. Like, don't tell anybody that I didn't smoke you because I'm supposed to, because all the instructors hate you today. But let that be a lesson to you. Like, probably just see what you're going to do before you quit. And everybody was just like, all right. So we legit played sharks and minnows and water polo for like an hour and a half. It was great. And then oddly enough, the rest of the week went better because we took all the pressure off of ourselves. And just like you were saying, Peaches, you're like, oh, wow. If you get out of your own head, you stop expecting the worst and you stop pretending like you're in a battle for your soul. Like, maybe it's just training. Maybe it's just something you've done a million times before and it's not that exciting.
Just have fun. I mean, things don't have to suck. And that's, I think, there's been a lot of talk about the, at least within the kind of nil community, about the smoke session kind of hell weeks, kind of thing, and I won't call out anybody in particular, just because, I mean, one seems to be doing it right. There's some that are not doing it right, apparently. So, you don't have to make things suck. Like, it's okay every once in a while, I guess, but things don't have to suck. Believe me, the suck will come. Like, and you are not stopping that train unless you ring that bell. But you can go into the pool and just have fun, and then build up that confidence level and comfort and confidence level, and then, put yourself through some shit. Just a thought.
It's going to suck anyway. Life is good. Life is going to suck more. Yeah, your life sucks. I'm sorry. It's the human condition. You're born. You didn't ask to exist, and now you're just here paying taxes and going through this terrible thing that's life. And sometimes it's cool, but most of the time it sucks. You don't need to make it worse on yourself.
Yeah. Well, and expectations, right? Like I remember one time we woke up the students for the extended training day at the CCT Southeast Selection course, and typically most of the classes, and all the classes know this, like there's the Cone News Network, and they all tell each other everything about everything.
Of course. Shout out Cone News Network.
Yeah, they're awesome. Typically it's like we wake them up and it's like lay out their rucks. We do like a all that other stuff, which turns into grass and grills, which turns into a long ruck and some other stuff. Well, we're like, hey, this class we're going to change it up. So we woke them up, got them right on the bus, straight to the pool. So they're not expecting it, right into the water. And I remember there's this one guy who, obviously he spent like 20 minutes with me the afternoon before talking about maybe, I want to quit. But he was like a performer. I'm like, don't, like, what's your problem? You don't need to quit. You're fine. He gets in the water, does it just fine in his like a uniform, completes the iteration and then gets back and quits. And it's just like, is it really, like, you haven't failed anything yet. You're not even close to failing yet. And he quit. And I think a huge part of that was just like, he was expecting one thing today, and it was something totally different. And we threw him in the water. And even though he's performing, so if he could have just turned off that, like, whatever in his brain that wasn't living in the right now, he would have been fine. He would have made it through that day, no problem. But instead, like,
the worst,
things weren't going the way that he expected them to go. And so it just turned into like this cascade of negativity in his brain that led him to quitting. And you see that kind of stuff a lot. Like those people that go out there and they want to like beat the water into submission that day or beat the ocean. The trap with that is when you lose, like, how do you bounce back from that day? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you got to fail fast, baby.
Yeah, that's it. And you always want to learn from your mistakes, but we say it all the time. Like, okay, take your lesson. Like, we're not saying just be like, oh, I'm just gonna go on with life. Today sucked. I'm just gonna do. Like, that's not what we're saying. We're saying, okay, get your lesson out of it, but don't put so much on yourself.